Hey, everybody. It's about to go down.
It is now time for the Jeff Fox Radio Show. Jeff Fox Radio Show. Turn it up and get ready to talk sports and entertainment with your favorite sports brother. Follow the Jeff Fox Show on Instagram. That's at the Jeff Fox Show. Follow him on Twitter at Sports Bros Radio. And follow the Jeff Fox Show on Facebook at the Jeff Fox Show. Remember to subscribe on YouTube to Jeff Fox. You can always choose to support Jeff on Cash App. $ Radio Host 1. And sit back, relax, and enjoy the Jeff Fox Show. Powered by Brandstar Sports and Entertainment.
Yes. Welcome to the Jeff Fox Show. He's not here right now, so I am doing the first segment as a bet that I had with Miami Dolphin fans. My name is Darth Raider, and I am hosting the first segment of the Jeff Fox Show. And I demand that you clap for me right now. Yes. And they do it over there. Well, over there. Well, wherever he is Randy Savage. Give him love.
It's a terrible weekend. Terrible sports. Florida State lost again. Miami won.
Wait, Florida State lost again?
Yes, unfortunately.
Is this a very good Darth Vader impersonation by Darth Raider?
You don't sound like James Earl Jones, bruh.
No?
Nah.
What about no?
Simba, you have to sleep.
No. Stop laughing at me. This is really bad. I think I better. The gig is up. The jig is up. I mean, it is me. It is me. Yes. Woo. Man, what's up, Randy Savage?
Man,
popping, man.
Weekend, the rest of this weekend, I'm chilling right now. I'm doing good. What's up with you, man?
Oh man, I am chilling, man. I had a great weekend. Well, first of all, I worked my ass to death at the round table. Like, I need to start sending in some cash donations so I can give up that job. Yeah. All right. By the way, the Cash App is Radio Host 1, $ Radio Host 1. We appreciate your support. Everybody here in Miami, man. It's been a big day. Let's welcome the third member of our team. Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas is checking in from his beautiful facility out there in the 9-5, boy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What's happening, Lorenzo?
What's up, Jeff? How are you? I'm happy the gig is up because that was not working.
It was bad.
It was really,
how bad was it?
It was really bad. It was really bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I mean, but you taking stabs at Dolphin fans. So I mean,
I
want to put it back on. You really can, because it's game 3 of the season, and y'all are still hurting from the loss that you took to the Miami Dolphins last year, where it knocked you out of the playoffs. So you can put it back on and enjoy it right now. And the Raiders did start 2-0 last year, right? Or was it 3-0? No, 2-0 last year.
No, Raiders are 3-0 for the first time in
70 something.
19 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
2001. So I mean, you can really enjoy that one. If you want to gloat about that one, you really can, because it's a barn burner when the Raiders and the Dolphins get together. It's always a game that comes down to the end. But I don't know. I know we're going to go into details or breakdowns of the game a little bit, but I wouldn't be too happy about beating a team with their backup quarterback in the game and, an offensive line basically that's starting 4 rookies, because probably if you add up all the games that these guys have played, it doesn't even add up to a full season.
Right.
So the fact that they were able to come back and challenge and tie and send it into overtime lets you know how much heart these young boys have. So and if you know anything about Brian Flores' team, we've seen it the first 2 seasons that the team does get better as the season goes along. So as they tweak it, I mean, last year they were 3-3 before Tua started. So as they tweak it and put things together, as they come down the stretch, we'll see, and the schedule will get easier as the season progresses. You'll see a different Dolphin team.
You really sound like a homer, Lorenzo.
Oh, I'm talking facts, though. I am talking facts.
But you sound like, okay, as the resident Raider fan, right?
Right.
I'll give the Miami Dolphins credit. You guys gave me a massive headache yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way the game started, like I basically didn't want to be around anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody.
14-0, like that.
I was about to start watching Andy Griffith reruns if the Raiders had kept that up. Like, I mean, really, it was about to get that serious. The interception, Derek Carr was just moving up and down the field all day.
Not at that point, not the early part of the game.
Not the early part, like
early part,
And then John Gruden decides to be a genius and go for it
on 4th down, right?
When he needed 1 yard.
Right.
The Raiders weren't really warmed up yet. So I want to thank the offensive coordinators for the Miami Dolphins.
That's right. The young and experienced
for calling that
offensive coordinators, still figuring it out.
For calling that dumbass play in the end zone.
Yep.
When you're on your 1 yard line and you got a speed burner like Jalen Waddle and you give him the ball in the end zone. Like,
so do I sound like a homer where I'm stating facts about them being a young team, first-time coordinators working together, and you don't make a call like that? That changed the entire momentum.
At Bunch Park, man.
It was dumb. It was a dumb call, and even Jalen had to jump for it. If anything, Jacoby Brissett should have audibled out of the play. You go 5 wide at the 1 yard line. He should have audibled out of the play. 2, he should have maybe just thrown it because Gesicki was open in the middle of the field. He should have thrown it someplace else. But because of their lack of trust of the offensive line, they wanted to throw something quick and get out of the position that they were in as quick as possible. And Jacoby is so programmed, and Tua programmed to get rid of the ball quickly because of the young, inexperienced rookie offensive line. Basically, they are programmed right now to react that way to anything that they call. And once the Raiders' defensive front actually got tired in the second half, I would really say that's the reason why the offensive line of the Miami Dolphins was able to give Jacoby Brissett time to throw those balls downfield, where it was an interference penalty in the end zone against Will Fuller. That was pass interference. Just like last year, Aguilar got that pass interference call against Byron Jones when they touched him on the shoulder. You got that call last year where you were able to go ahead and we came back to win the game. But we didn't get – there was actually 2 pass interference calls, one against Devontae Parker and the one in the end zone. But We're not going to get those calls on the road that's going to decide the game. So the Dolphins is they're just not ready. They're a young team. They got rid of some veterans last year, and they have to mature. So those are facts.
Right.
I'm not sounding like a homer. I'm just a homer that knows the truth and the facts. Basically.
Savage, you wanted to comment?
I agree with Lorenzo. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
a young team. Look, we learned from the last couple of years. They start out really slow. 0-7 last year. I think 3-3 last year.
Not last year.
2 years ago. 3-3 last year.
2019, 3-3 and 20.
And here's what the problem is with the Dolphins and with Dolphin fans. You guys are only in what, year 3?
Yeah, really.
Let it play out. Let it play out. The first year was terrible, right? They lost the first 7, then they kind of, he came in and he cleaned house and got rid of everybody. Nobody expected 10-6 last year.
Nobody
saw that coming. And I think the Dolphin fans have, upped their expectations for this team because of what they saw last year. And they expected you to go. Some people still do expect you to go between 9 and 11 wins.
I said 11. I still got 11 actually right now, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just think
in year 3 of the experiment, I don't think that's bad. Like I've heard murmurs from Dolphin fans who are now turning their backs on the great Chris Greer. And I say the great Chris Greer because you got to remember what this team was before Chris Greer took over.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. What is Chris great at doing when you call him great? What is he great at?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm supporting him primarily, and I'm going to be honest, because he's black.
He's a winner and dealer, man. He's big, fun.
I'm honest. I'm giving it to him because he's a black man. And the other reason, man, he hired a black head coach.
Right.
So I'm giving him that. I'm rooting for him off rip. All right? Because there's a lack of, you guys know the rest of the story.
Right.
But
well, what he's great at is turning out picks and trades and moving around.
The way he was wheeling and dealing, trading picks and getting more picks and turning them into multiple picks. And I just thought he was great at building this team. I don't think the job is done yet. And the problem that I have with the media and the NFL in particular, is that they tend to not give brothers a chance to let it play out. They don't want to fire him in year 2 or year 3.
That is true. They want it to play out, but you just have to look at the track record. And even after this draft, I was like, I expected more. With all the wheeling and dealing that Chris Greer did to get all of those picks. Yes, we have 2 picks in 2023, but Stephen Ross don't care about 2023. Stephen Ross is what, 78, 870. He want to see a Super Bowl before he croak. You know what I mean? So he wants to see a Super Bowl. And you look at you got the 2 in 2023. We got 1 next year, and this year. In the upcoming draft, we don't have our draft choice in the first round. We have San Francisco's draft choice. So it's even if we lose if we have a losing record, it's not our pick. It's going to be what San Francisco does. That's going to determine where we select number 1 in the first round of next year's draft. But let's just take a look since we're talking about that. You can go back if we want to talk about the rumors. Stephen Ross wanted Lamar Jackson, right? It was rumored that he wanted him to select him.
You don't know that for a fact, but okay.
I said rumor, did I not? I said rumor. Rumor, that's what he wanted. And Chris Greer went with Minkah Fitzpatrick. Great selection, but he's no longer with the team. Okay. All right. Then it was also rumored, of course, last year that Stephen Ross and Chris Greer wanted Tua Tagovailoa, but the rumors are that Flores and Dan Marino wanted Justin Herbert. That's got to hurt right about now. And let's look at the 5 first-round picks. All question marks. as far as I'm concerned, in the first round, you don't gamble in the first round. You need to pick a player that's going to be a bona fide star and starter. So let's look at the 5. You had Tua, hip injury. Austin Jackson, bone marrow transplant with his sister, right? He may not have fully recovered from that. And then you got Noah. We don't even want to get into that. 2 years playing corner, and he was 19 years old, so he still got to mature. But right now, he's still dealing with it's all mental with him. And then Jalen Waddle, who looks like he's going to be a good player in the NFL, ankle, and Jalen Phillips, concussion. Okay. All 5 of those have question marks. At the end of last year's draft, I was like, okay, all this wheeling and dealing, what do you have? When you could have stayed at 12, got Micah Parsons, and you could have done that, or you could have stayed at 3 and you have Kyle Pitts and Najee Harris. And then in the other rounds, you go ahead and maneuver and do the things you have to do to lay the foundation of your squad. Now, just imagine this. Had the Dolphins selected Justin Herbert, they could have Justin Herbert, Kyle Pitts, and Najee Harris.
Right. But, I mean, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? Like,
no, but we're talking about he's great. So my point is he may be great at wheeling and dealing, but is he great at selecting the players that are going to help your team? Now, the Von Holland and the Eichenberg picks look like great picks, but those are in the later rounds. In that first round, you don't gamble. You pick the sure thing.
Well, I mean, that's what the draft is, Lorenzo. I mean, the Raiders famously selected, what's the fat guy from LSU?
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell. Sometimes you miss.
Yeah, but you called him great, Jeff.
Hey, Michael Jordan missed free throws. He's great.
You called him Jeff, so that's my first take.
Yeah,
to basically defend the fact that no, he has not been great. And if you want to get Deshaun Watson, look at they're saying, okay, trade 3 number 1s. I'm not trading 3 number 1s. Well, look what you did with the 3 number 1s in the 2020 draft.
I'll trade my 3 number 1s.
I'll trade 3 number 1s for Watson too.
Do it right now.
Now you would.
You in 2020.
This team is a super. Listen,
right?
Miami Dolphins is so vanilla on offense. I mean, and thank God they weren't, because as a Raider fan, you guys played right into our hands yesterday. We weren't awake. Thank you for calling that dumbass play in the end zone.
That's true.
I appreciate that.
Can't argue that at all.
But in the fourth quarter, man, I mean, you got a little glimpse of what this team could be. Like, why aren't they throwing the ball downfield? And you have weapons like Gesicki, and you have weapons like Waddle, and you have weapons like Wilson. And I get it. You know why they're not throwing downfield? Because the quarterback can't stay upright. It started at the very beginning of the season. The first 3 plays against the Buffalo Bills, 2 of them were sacks. And it's continued ever since. You got to get it right in the O-line. You guys need help. Bring back Richmond Webb and those guys. Damn, you need help.
The guy who plays for the Raiders
I just don't think that it's all bad for the Dolphins right now. I mean, you guys lost a game against the Raiders. You guys hate the Raiders. I get it. And we hate y'all too, by the way. But, let's move on. Move past the Raiders. You're 1-2. You got an extra week this year. You got the Colts coming in who are winless.
So you're saying an extra week because we're playing a team that's 0-3?
Yeah, this is the perfect setup for the Dolphins to bounce back. And Jacoby Brissett, who I think shows more of a veteran presence in the Dolphin lineup. Because, I mean, if that was Tua yesterday, bro. Brissett
would have won that game yesterday, honestly.
That threw some darts out of there, man.
Tua would have won that game yesterday.
You think Tua would have won that game yesterday? Why do you say that?
He's got balls, and he could certainly fit that ball in many places.
Blasphemous.
But Brissett's also big and he's harder to tackle. So, he can bounce. Max Crosby or Max whoever the lineman is for the Raiders can bounce right off of him. So pick your poison, honestly.
Yeah, but I do give Jacoby Brissett a lot of credit for bringing that team back. I mean, he just willed them back to tying up that game. And what happened? They opened up the playbook. They started to throw the ball downfield. Now, I will attribute it to the Raiders' defensive line. I mean, Jacoby threw the ball 49 times. So that means those guys are rushing the quarterback,
4 yards upfield too.
Yeah, upfield and trying to get after the quarterback. So it just seemed like they kind of wore down towards the end of the game. That gave Jacoby the time to be able to get the ball downfield. But they have to open it up. It's something that they have to do. I think I may have mentioned it to Jeff in the Buffalo game. Max protect. And this is when I thought Will Fuller was going to play in the Buffalo game. Max protect. Just go throw it. Go deep. Throw waddle, streak patterns, fly patterns, straight down the field. Get one on one side and just get that defense out of the box. Because Buffalo in that game, they had about 9 guys in the box.
Right.
So, but one of the problems was with the Raiders game, the Raiders was playing 2 deep safeties most of the time. So that's why Jacoby was just taking what the defense was giving him. But you got to hit Waddle on the run. He's running these hook patterns where he stops and then he's got to take off. You got to hit him, in stride so he can take the ball and make something happen with it. I mean, 12 receptions for 58 yards. That is ridiculous.
Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, exactly. But Jarvis would take it and break a tackle. So he'll take that 9-yard reception and it'll be 14, 15, 16, 20 yards. You know what I mean? Jalen's not doing that as of yet.
No doubt. You're listening to the Jeff Fox Show and watching us right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter as we get it popping right here on an emotional Monday. Dolphins lose 31-28 to my Las Vegas Raiders. And
hard for you to say, Jeff. Hard for you to say.
Well, yes, you still want to say Oakland. You know what I mean?
Right. HBLA.
That's going to take a while to get past that. But overall, I thought it was a great game. And I was having cardiac issues watching this game. And the last 2 Dolphin Raider games, I don't want to see the Dolphins again for another 2-3 years because you guys give the Raiders fits.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. Do you think Flo should have gone for it on? I mean, the shuffle pass to Mike Gesicki. I'm like, please get that out of the playbook. They got the first down the first time they tried it, but they were lucky to get it because they didn't execute it properly. And then you try it again on 3rd down. I think it was 3rd down and 4. After you've passed the ball successfully throughout the 4th quarter, you take it out of Jacoby's hands to do a shuffle pass to Mike Gesicki. I mean, the play calling was
it was bad,
and the timing, and it's co-coordinators and Charlie Fry. So it's like, look, I mean, come on. So I'm thinking, why kick a field goal there? So you're playing for the tie, or you want to win the game?
Win the game, honestly.
I go for it.
So relieved.
Yeah,
I was so relieved when
you go for it on 4th down. And you just missed the pass interference call in the end zone. You may get another one.
Exactly.
So
I take the chance.
I mean, I say go for it on 4th down instead of playing for the tie. And then you want to rely on your defense, but you're not running the ball enough to make sure to maintain the time of possession. So when you look at it, your defense has been on the field almost 40 minutes, and then maybe over 40 minutes because it went into overtime. You know what I mean? So they did a good job of locking down Waller, but everyone else was able to, beat you in so many different ways.
Yeah, so we're going to put you in the GM seat. We're going to get rid of Chris Greer. You're out of here, Chris.
Thank you.
And Lorenzo, you've been hired. You've been hired, sir.
Thank you. I'll say, if it wasn't for COVID in 2020, we would have had the opportunity to go to the combines and see Justin Herbert up close and personal. But because it was COVID and we could not see these players and get our hands on them and really to see them, those are the reasons why we probably did so poorly in the first round of the 2020 draft. It's COVID's fault.
Yeah.
I'm going to be ready next year.
You're the GM. This season is not over.
I mean, that is actually, if you really think about it, it is a good reason why they swung and missed so poorly in the 2020 draft because they didn't have an opportunity to see these guys up close and personal. It was this year or was it last year? It was this year they coached the senior. The senior bowl was this year. Okay, wasn't that?
And he won the MVP of the Senior Bowl this year, which was even more crazy because
Justin Herbert did.
Yes, he did. As
playing against Flo.
Yeah,
that's why he wanted him. That's why he wanted him.
I thought they liked Jordan Love more than I think they liked everybody else, and we haven't seen Jordan Love yet. For Green Bay.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers
better than everybody.
Aaron Rodgers. Listen, it was a great day in the NFL yesterday.
Yeah,
nail biters everywhere. That Raider game was not even the Raider Dolphin game was not even the best game of the day. Like you had a bunch of games decided by kicks. Just an awesome day. I think the NFL is like, patting itself on the back today. And then you got a great game on Monday Night Football.
Yes.
I want to know who's the idiot that scheduled the Thursday night games. Because you got another dud coming up this Thursday.
It's Cincinnati and Jacksonville? I'm trying to pick up Cincinnati's defense for my fantasy.
Yeah, I'd rather go fishing or get a tooth pulled or something. I don't know.
Sorry, I stepped on the crickets. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, let's take a look at some of yesterday's action real quick. All right, that was their call.
Their breath watching that. Oh God.
Yeah, that was not good for the Raiders right there. The Dolphin defense, though, I mean, started out the game great. Again, the Raiders being conservative, and then they got stupid aggressive. Like, why would you go for it on your own 34? Early in the game. I get it, Gruden was trying to wake the boys up, but it backfired tremendously. Again, thank God for a hapless Dolphin offense. If you're a Raider fan, and they recovered from it.
Down in 15 now from the 20-yard line in a tie game. Protection holds up. Carr launches. Caught! Over the shoulder, Brian Edwards. Mr. Clutch for Las Vegas.
And he broke through double coverage, but they found the guy that you would want in coverage, and that's Brandon Jones. A hammer in the box is a strong.
And that could have been the defensive, I don't know, maybe.
Those two players are not even our starters. And I'm like, what are they doing on the field?
Yeah.
For time. I'm like, Brandon doesn't start, and neither's San Igualvon. That's a good name.
Brandon Edwards, by the way, for the Raiders has been nicknamed Mr. Overtime. He seems to make very clutch plays in overtime, and came through big time for the Raiders yesterday there on that play. Other clips, we'll get to other clips and other highlights of a great day around the NFL. Today was also Media Day around the National Basketball Association. We'll check in with some of that. And got a lot more coming up right here on the Jeff Fox Show. Special guest, Lorenzo Icy Thomas in the house. My man, Randy Savage. We'll be back after this.
Brothers and sisters, let me take you back to school. It's all about the old school Sundays at the Round Table, 11205 Northwest 7th Avenue. The fun starts early at 6 p.m. with yours truly, baby, DJ Jeff Fox, playing the jam. We got pool tables, flat screen, everywhere. Come watch the big game. And we've got the best daily happy hour in the city. The best bartenders serving up our daily drink special. Tequila sour, lemon drop, sex on the beach, amaretto sour, Washington apple, only $4. Margaritas only $5, and a whole lot more. You want shots? We got shots. Bacardi, Tito's, Hennessy, Patron. Why go anywhere else? Come by with us at the Round Table. Yes, the Round Table, 11205 Northwest 7th Avenue. And you got to be there. like the Jeff Fox Show? Send your email to getthattea@gmail.com. That's GETDATTEA@gmail.com. The Jeff Fox Show is powered by the Brand Star Sports and Entertainment. Sports, entertainment's lifestyle. We give the people what they want. And now back to more of the Jeff Fox Show.
Yeah! We are back, baby. Emotional Monday. And Lorenzo's emotional. Randy Savage has been emotional as well. Meanwhile, I've been celebrating. I'm just relieved, bro. I'm relieved. You know, the Raiders, as they walked off the field yesterday, were saying, ugly win, but we'll take it. Because they should have won that game going away. Instead, they fell asleep in the fourth quarter. Dolphins rallied with 11 big points. I mean, down the stretch, the fourth down conversion. And then you convert the 2-point. I was nervous, man. I was nervous, but thank God they pulled it out. They went 31-28. Now you guys have to regroup. And again, 12 catches for Waddle. You know, nice number, but the 58 yards. That's not how you use them. This is how you use Jalen Waddle.
Looks that way, wants to go deep, and will. Waddle has got it on the run, and he's gone. Jalen Waddle, touchdown.
Yeah, strike up the band, why don't you? That's how you use Jalen Waddle.
I'm gonna fit in the background too, man. Roll Tide, I guess.
Yeah, roll Tide, man.
Yeah, it would figure a Raider fan would know to pull that clip, and that's why the Raiders had 2 deep safeties throughout the game, so that play wouldn't happen. So that's why it wasn't available, because their safeties were deep the whole game. Not until maybe like the fourth quarter.
You had
a lot of one-on-one coverage.
Be patient with Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
You know, we had Henry Ruggs. This is what, year 2 Ruggs? Yep.
Boy, and when they catch a pass on X, they get so excited. I mean, it's like
I jumped up too.
Like he caught a pass on X and he's celebrating like he scored a touchdown. I'm like, Lord, okay.
X is today's version of Deion Sanders.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not today's. No. Don't do that. No, he's not.
I don't even call him Revis. He's very good though.
Yeah, he's in top 3, but no.
X is a ball hawk, sir. Stay the hell away from him.
Said Deion. You started to say Deion Sanders? No.
I don't even think I love Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey is probably the closest cornerback to Deion today, right? The closest one. If you had to pick,
you're saying you'd rather have Jalen Ramsey than X,
bro. Jalen Ramsey erases a whole side of the field.
I'm not saying that, but I'll put it to you this way: X has issues with those quick wide receivers, those slot wide receivers. That's why Renfro got on him and scored that touchdown, because he was quick and able to move him and get him off of his spot. I don't want to see X trailing some wide receivers across the field. I want him to play that certain area. And Byron Jones is probably a little bit faster than X. That's why, which was smart. Instead of bracketing Darren Waller, what they did was they put Byron Jones on him. And most of the catches, if you go back to last year, that Waller got on Eric Rowe was contested 50-50 balls, and he was able to Eric Rowe was right there, but he's such a big body, he was able to outmaneuver him and get the ball at its highest point, something that Devontae Parker needs to do when he gets the ball. But now you put a Byron Jones who is taller than, say, Xavier Howard or an Eric Rowe, and he was able to, at least blanket him somewhat where he didn't go off, but everyone else did go off. So
no, I have a hell of a lot of respect for that Dolphins secondary. The fact that they're calling through 1 interception yesterday.
They got to get some pressure. That front seven's got to get some pressure on the quarterback. That's the main reason. And they're just getting too much time back there.
And I don't know what happened with Van Ginkel.
He's disappeared this year.
I don't even know what's up with the rookie they got this year from the U. He's not getting to the QB either. So it's
Phillips.
Yeah, I think. Well, for the first 2 games
to the QB.
Yeah, well, one of the problems that they're having is that I think they they took him from being a defensive end and then wanted him to be a linebacker. So now he's thinking too much. So in the first couple of games, he's playing linebacker, he's dropping, he's rushing the passer. You draft this guy to rush the passer. And game 3, they said, okay, we're going to start you at defensive end. Your job is to play defensive end and rush the pass. And he had 6 sacks and maybe a quarterback hit. But they are double teaming him quite often. They're chipping him with a tight end and a running back. So they are paying a lot of attention to him. But now just put him on their defensive end and let him rush the pass. That's what you draft him to do. So at least when you got Agba coming from one side, you can get pressure coming from another side. But he's got to also make sure that he maintains his area and not get out of place. So he can more so force the run back inside.
No doubt. Shout out to the X Squad that's got us tuned in.
Yes.
TC and the boys in Atlanta. We appreciate you, X Squad. Yep. And everybody, please share the link. Share the link to the show. We're going to go all around the sports world real quick before we get into Monday Night Football mode. Great one tonight. Eagles and Cowboys.
Woo!
Yeah, that ought to be a good one. And I think the Cowboys have a nice squad this year. The consensus is they should, and I say should, win the NFC East. We'll see. We're a long way from that. But around the National Football League yesterday, we saw some great action. And let's start right here with the Ravens and the Lions. And the man of the moment, Justin Tuck.
On its way. It bounces off the crossbar, and it's good. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my! Did that just happen, Greg?
Justin Tucker. You lucky mother Tucker.
I let out the weirdest sound when I saw that go down.
That can only happen to the Lions. That can only happen to the Lions.
Right. But the kick should have never taken place. You know why?
6 yards?
But you know why it shouldn't have taken place?
Tell me why.
The play before that, they had a delay of game. The play clock was at 0-0, and the refs didn't call. They didn't throw a flag, so it allowed the Ravens to get a couple of more yards to get closer. But they should have been flagged for a delay of game. The kick should never happen.
Wow.
I remember that.
Amazing, man. Great. 66 yards, of course, a record in the NFL. The fact, I don't think anybody can make a 66-yarder.
Do you have the other record breaker video, Jeff?
No, I don't have.
I got to get that one. I'll get that one in a couple seconds, actually.
Oh, Jeff, you don't have it?
What's the other record breaker?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, the return.
I was about to say kickoff return, punt return, but it was a field goal return.
Yeah.
The kicker for the Cardinals was attempting a 68-yard field goal, and it came up short. And the Jacksonville Jaguars returned it and recorded the longest return, one of the longest returns in NFL history.
I saw the other one by Ed Reed. Remember that on Monday Night Football for the Ravens? I think he caught one.
Was it 109?
109. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, great Ed Reed, who I'll have on the show here in a couple of weeks to join us.
So great. And I mean, some people think he's over the top and he's too much. But to hear Gus Johnson call the game, he called.
I'd love to have dinner with Gus Johnson and hear him say, pass the butter. Like he can make pass the butter sound good.
Yes, he does. So he was on that call of that return.
Wow. Yes, we need that Randy Savage. But
it's actually in about a couple minutes. It should be
Justin Tucker has now made 50 straight field goals in the fourth quarter or overtime. 50. And 21 of those has been from 40 yards, 7 from 50. And, of course, the 66-yarder yesterday. He's never missed a kick in the final minute of regulation.
That kick just put him in the hall. That put him in the hall.
16.
He's a Hall of Fame kicker. That just solidified his place in the Hall of Fame.
16 for 16, Lorenzo. That's perfect.
Yeah.
would you dare say he's the greatest kicker of all time?
I wouldn't say of all time.
I say he's better than Vinatieri, but Vinatieri had opportunity on his side. So
I think Justin Tucker is the greatest kicker this game has ever seen.
Mm.
And he has great ones. Eddie Murray with the Detroit Lions was automatic.
wasn't there like an MVP, a kicker that won the MVP or something like that, like for Washington?
I don't think a kicker will ever win the
Jeff,
MVP.
he's greater than the great George Blanda.
Yes, of course he's great.
That video
This dude is on him. Listen, I'm afraid of him. Like if the Ravens, damn, 66 yards. Who does that?
Did they say George Blanda kicked field goals with no toes?
That was Joe Dempsey.
Like, I've never heard
Half
of
a
that
foot.
before.
Joe Dempsey, who had the longest field goal in football history and NFL history, which was 63 yards. He held that record for a long time before it was broken. So that was Joe Dempsey. He was the kicker for the New Orleans Saints.
And I remember them in Denver because of the altitude that one of the Denver's kickers had the record also, or tied the record for.
Yeah. I don't remember his name.
All right, well,
Got that clip.
you got the clip. Let's hear it. Gus Johnson in action.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna play it.
Got it up. And short. Agnew brings it out of the end zone. Agnew still running. Agnew down the sideline. Agnew. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 109 yards. Incredible. Oh my goodness! Watch this! Gus, you taking a chance here, Gus. Taking a 68-yard field goal. But you also taking a chance. You got a bunch of linemen on the field, and they have to tackle Agnew. Agnew ran a kickback for 102 yards last week. He's a great returner. Breaking through arm tackles, running away from these big guys, Gus. Urban Meyer said, we need to keep smashing that rock. We need a break. It's coming. We're going to win with
That's great, man. That's fantastic.
It's the-
Gus Johnson makes anything sound exciting, man. And you talk to him,
Yeah.
he's like he's a very dry personality.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never met him, but when he's calling that game, I love him. Could you imagine him and Tony Romo together?
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Oh my God!
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I
Jones also.
I love. I mean, you know, I'm an energy guy, so I mean, to hear that and just his technique, and then he, you know, hit it, the exclamation point with the comment that he said about Urban Meyer, and boom, we're going to win. Close it onto the next play, and then I mean, it's imagine being the color guy and you having to match that same energy with him. You know, and you got to be fast. I don't know who the color guy was, but he came in there and boom, said what he had to say. And we had the great reference to last week that he returned the punt or a kickoff or whatever it was. But yeah, that was a great call. I saw it in real time and I was like, wow.
Yeah, no doubt, man. We had some great games.
Way to go, Randy.
No doubt. Randy Savage on the jobs. Here's Bucks and Rams yesterday.
But the strength is attacking them in the air. Boy, no pressure on Stafford. Jackson, they finally hit it. Deshaun Jackson, touchdown. Oh, but
And I contend that Deshaun Jackson is the greatest home run threat that this game has ever seen. And again, I'm not the overreaction guy. I am telling you, this guy is not. Let's see. I had the stat right here. His record is sick. What this man has done in the National Football League. Deshaun Jackson. He's 34 years old. First of all,
Still getting behind people, man.
Huh?
Still getting behind people,
I
man.
know.
How does he do it? How does he do it? He is the greatest home run hitter in the NFL ever. That was like he's got like 10 or 11.
7 for
75 yard touchdown.
33
You wouldn't call Randy Moss a home run hitter?
Listen, I give Randy Moss had those great couple of seasons. Deshaun Jackson's numbers dwarf him. They're better than him. They're better than T.O. The only person that's better.
What are you talking about? What numbers? He's not consistent.
50-yard touchdown catches.
Oh, is that all you're counting?
Well, and 75-yard catches.
You know, if you're gonna call him you got to be consistent. You got to be on the field. You got to be in the game.
No.
You got to be in the game to be the greatest. And if you can't even stay on the field, you can't even stay healthy, you can't be the greatest.
The greatest deep threat ever in the NFL.
Well, he got his touchdown for the year, so he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Now I think he got 2 yesterday.
Hey, he's done for the rest of the season. He's gonna get injured, and we won't see him no more for the rest of the season.
Right. Somebody's gonna hit him real good. They forgot about him. They forgot about him. And what's going on with Robert Woods? They forgot all about him. It's just, Lord. But I got Sam Bradford on my fantasy team, so I'm excited. I'm happy to see
Stafford, right?
Yeah, Matthew. I said Matthew Stafford, didn't I?
You said Sam Bradford. I was like,
Matthew Stafford. I'm sorry.
All right, you guys.
He was the old quarterback, right?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, my bad.
Deshaun Jackson, 75-yard reception against the Bucs today. 9th career touchdown of 75 yards or more. 9
Is that including punt returns?
touchdown reception. That doesn't include punt returns.
What he did in Philly.
That ties him with Lance Allworth. He had for the most 75-yard touchdowns in NFL history. All right, that means he can stretch the field. Not only was he that a great home run threat throwing the ball deep, with he's also a great kick returner, punt returner. Remember the last play of the game when he beat the G-men?
Yeah,
There's nobody better. Not Randy Moss, not Jerry Rice, like nobody. Lance Allworth is within striking distance, and he's the only guy. D-Jack is still running 4.4. 4.4. How?
Yeah, well, he's got to stay healthy. Like you said, Randy said, his season's over now.
For the season.
He's going to pull a hamstring or something later.
We're going to see him to next year, sometime first 2 weeks of the season.
You guys watch as much football as I do, and I'm puzzled by the fact that you don't think that this guy is a freak of nature. Deshaun Jackson. That's incredible. Anyway, it was a great game.
I don't think he will be. I don't think he'll be remembered. He will be remembered somewhat for that, but he would be remembered.
Lorenzo.
But he's going to be remembered for not being healthy and being consistent and staying on the field. He's going to be remembered for that too.
How do you put up all those numbers if you're not on the field?
He ain't going in the hall.
Yes, he is.
He ain't going in the hall, dog. Stop. We might cut off the show. What you drink? He's going in the hall. Come on, man.
Hall of Fame, man. That guy's got a Hall of Fame career.
No.
What?
No.
All right. When he retires, you'll see.
And who's going to vote him in? You think the writers are going to vote him in?
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on. He's not.
An upset special yesterday. What's wrong with the Kansas City Chiefs?
Sorensen actually goes to the wrong spot.
Yeah. Chiefs defense terrific. Are they number 31 or 32? They're near the bottom of the NFL.
Can I go back to that Deshaun Jackson quote? Cliff Branch just got in, Jeff. And you think Deshaun Jackson is getting in? Okay, what's wrong with the Chiefs?
They don't get me distracted.
Can't stop.
No, when I hit him with that Raiders stuff, it flusters him.
Yeah,
I mean, it flusters him. But Cliff
Branch should have been in the years ago, but I won't go there.
You think Jackson is getting in? Come on.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. How is that even a question?
How important was Cliff Branch to those Oakland Raiders Super Bowls.
Anyway, man.
Come on, man. And it took him that long to get in. What about oh God, his name is leaving me right now.
I'm not trying to get James
Flores, and how long it took him to get in. And he won Super Bowl.
Hispanics, sir.
See, he don't like it when Randy, he don't like it when I go there. Because that's my ish.
Yeah, okay.
He threw those Jackson stats at me. I didn't have a chance to research it at all. You know what I mean? So he called me.
By the way, gentlemen, Rodney the intern says the Kansas City Chiefs will come back and win.
When they learn to play defense.
This year. Patrick
learn to
Mahomes
play defense.
and the Kansas City Chiefs will bounce back and win.
Once they go out the West.
Is that right?
I'll tell you this. Right now, the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the NFL.
I agree.
Period.
It's like the Bills and the Rams for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Right now, if I had to bet money, it would be those two teams. The Bills right now look like the best team in the NFL. The way that Josh Allen just destroyed the Washington Redskins, Washington, D.C., Washington football team defense yesterday. I mean, they put 26 points on them in the first half.
Yeah, that's a good defensive team, too.
You know, I mean, it made me feel good when I saw that. I was like, oh, okay. I said, we held them to 14. And then if we had, instead of going for it on fourth downs and didn't drop touchdowns in the end zone and turn it over in the red zone, we may have been at least kicked some field goals that have been 14-6 or 14-7 and 14-10 at the half, against them. But Buffalo right now, they got one loss, right? Who did they lose to? Who beat them?
Steelers, opening week.
I just think they came out. They were feeling themselves a little bit too much.
TJ Watt was playing, but he's not playing. He hasn't played since. So,
yeah. Your thoughts on Chiefs and Chargers yesterday?
Sorry,
Herbert. What do you think?
Sorensen actually goes to the wrong spot.
Yeah, I mean the Herbert guy, man. He's got Dolphin folks shaking their heads right now, and
that's all I see, man. I saw 4 touchdowns.
Armando Salguero wrote for Outkick.com today and said that Herbert is going to be Patrick Mahomes' rival in the AFC for the next few years. Do you guys agree?
His rival right now is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I think so too.
But y'all are basing it on the style of play, right?
Oh, style of play, yeah.
Yeah, but in that, no, it's going to be a rival because they have to play each other twice a year.
Yeah,
so they're going to be going back and forth in that division. Yeah, I definitely believe that. I'm not comparing the two, but I mean Justin Herbert, and I think that's where the Dolphins missed out, not able to go to the combines and see these players up close and personal. It came down from the top that we want Tua, and Greer and Ross wanted Tua. Then they went with Tua. But every time from now on, that we're gonna, like Randy Moss. We could have drafted, the Dolphins could have drafted Randy Moss, and we passed on him. So from now on, we're gonna look at Herbert and know that we could have had him, especially if we make a trade for Deshaun Watson and Tua as a backup, because he might not even be included in the trade.
Right.
Honestly, I'm fine with that. Honestly, keep it there. If something happens with Watson.
Yeah.
By the way, for the second week in a row, you had an awesome Sunday night game.
Garoppolo over the middle. That's caught. Juszczyk, can he get in? Yes, he can. Touchdown, San Francisco.
How come the 49ers always get these muscular white guys
Fullback matter, baby.
And they like Tom Rathman reinvented all over again? Look at this.
Garoppolo over the middle. That's caught. Juszczyk, can he get in? Yes, he can. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Juszczyk. And they have names like Rathman and Juszczyk.
There's a Z name, man. You gotta understand, fullbacks are still in the game and they still matter.
The Raiders have one, Alex Ingold, and I love him, number 45.
He got a touchdown yesterday.
Yeah. And they can all catch. And I mean, that's a big part of having a successful team. I get it; it's not a glamour position, But a good job by the 49ers on that particular play. However, the night would belong to this man. Aaron Rodgers.
To Devontae Parker. I'm sorry, Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Clearly, we have no sound
audio.
How the hell, Randy Savage?
And he stops the clock.
Yeah, like,
I found a good video because I didn't want to get the one where he got knocked out.
Man, fire the video guy, won't you?
I thought I was going to have to do play-by-play. You got the next clip that he threw to Adams?
That was the one that he went to tie it up and they
that was the game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
The chemistry between those two, between Rodgers and Adams, is incredible. The back shoulder passes, it's just like you can defend that
happiness. I still see, man. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Dude, I believe that. I believe that. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is so disconnected from the pack. Like, he's so out of there. He's just there, to get that check. But I don't think he's dialed in like he could be. You know what I mean? He's playing great. He's after the opening day loss to the Saints, speculation was rampant on is he in or not. But you got to give it to him. He's one of the all-time greats.
He's still a bad man.
He's a bad man, like Stephen A. said. So great games again around the NFL yesterday. I wasn't surprised by any of the scores yesterday. I guess the Chiefs beating the Chargers was more of a surprise to me than
Chargers beating the Chiefs.
I mean, the Chargers, beating the Chiefs, more of a surprise to me than anything else.
And perhaps the way the Rams handled the Buccaneers was a little bit of a surprise. I thought it would have been
legit though.
Say it again.
The Rams are legit.
Oh no, yeah.
Tom Brady 432 yards yesterday. First time he took an L, putting up those kind of numbers. How about the way Matthew Stafford is working out for the Rams? All those years of toiling and mediocrity, for a franchise going nowhere. By the way, Megatron was introduced to the crowd yesterday in Detroit. They showed him love, but you know who they booed? The owner.
Wow.
They booed the owner.
Wow.
Because they have stunk since I was a youth. Since Billy Sims.
That's going back.
They had the years when they went to the playoffs with Caldwell as the coach, and they've never been back since.
Wayne Fonts. Like, the Lions have stunk for years. Could you imagine being a Detroit Lion fan? And there's actually one in the X Squad. The Wait a Minute show. They stink. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Barry Sanders said, the hell with it. I quit.
Everything you say. I quit. I have to bring it back to the Dolphins. And you mentioned Caldwell. He was supposed to be in charge of the offense. When Brian Flores first came to the Dolphins, he was supposed to be kind of like an assistant to the coach. And because of health reasons, he could no longer stay with the team. So just imagine where this team would be if he was in place.
Right.
That maybe that's one of the reasons why the offense has been in such disarray. And then they brought in Chad O'Shea from New England, and it was just too complex for everybody. So I got to bring everything back to Dolphins. But go ahead.
We've gone a little long today, so we're going to blow off a commercial here and just go straight to the NBA because the Miami Heat had media day today.
Come on, Randy, show it.
Yeah. Lorenzo and I were supposed to go out there. Yeah, Randy Savage.
Yes.
Heat jersey. Yeah. Show your Heat fandom.
One team got to actually be a winner down here. So
I think the Miami Heat have assembled a goon squad.
What?
They are going to go around the league
and beat people up.
And beat the hell out of people. except when they get to Los Angeles.
This guy.
Well, they might beat the Lakers up too.
Look,
Isn't that Morris
team?
Don't the Heat have a Morris brother on this gang that they've assembled?
They got the one that isn't as good, but he's still
a knucklehead.
Yeah,
they both are.
Yeah, Jeff, I got to ask you a question here. What is your infatuation with the West Coast?
Hey man, throw them dubs up, man. You know,
Raiders and Laker fan and
yeah. It's just,
all right, sorry.
We're saying. It is what it is.
You got to understand that Lakers team though. It just got to make it through 82 games.
Yeah,
they do. But I think the Miami Heat are gonna. You remember Pat Riley's Miami Heat? Pat Riley's New York Knicks team when Grandmama and who else did they have on that team?
Anthony Mason,
Patrick Ewing.
That was a goon squad.
Derek Harper,
Charles Oakley.
Charlie Ward, Mr. Nice Guy, even was a goon.
Mm-hmm.
On the fight with PJ Ward. PJ
Allen Houston. Miami Heat fans remember him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Miami Heat, man, even Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, like, damn, like you gotta face these guys.
When was the last time that the Miami Heat had a true point guard?
I was tragic, but a point guard, a Tim Hardaway.
Kyle's going to be the best point guard that we have since Tim Hardaway. It's going to now the offense is going to move. So, who was our point guard? Jimmy Butler basically was our point forward.
Didn't LeBron play the
point center?
But he wasn't our true point guard. He wasn't a true point guard. That was my question. A true point guard.
Dragic was great, but he's more of a scorer than he is.
Yeah. But we got him old.
You guys forget about the greatness of Mario Chalmers?
Hey, Mario. He played D. He controlled the clock. He wasn't
Mario mother bleeping Chalmers.
And Lorenzo's out of here. But you gotta understand, Chalmers.
I mean to laugh, Mario, but I love Mario Chalmers' fearlessness. He was just fearless.
Where is he?
Great defensive player.
And what about Norris Cole? Ooh,
yeah, high top.
Remember him?
That's what you went to get.
Yeah, had to grab this.
So I worked at the arena where he had that van there, and everybody had to sign it.
Yeah.
Oh man, looking at that every day, like it was an eyesore, bro.
So Lowry being the best point guard since Tim Hardaway.
True point guard.
True point guard.
You put Doran in there, but Goran.
Who was the point guard when the Heat won chip with Shaq and Dwayne Wade? Who was the point guard on that team?
Gary Payton?
That was a pick your point guard because you had J. Will, but you had an old J. Will.
Yeah, right. You had an old J. Will, an old GP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were showing themselves.
Yeah.
You guys might be right.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry.
Now and he's gonna put the players in the best position to score now. Because he can penetrate.
And on top of that, he's in the best shape of his life. Here he is.
But I just wanted to ask, it's a different situation for you coming in because clearly the Toronto Raptors was your team. You were the unquestioned leader of that group. And now you're coming to an organization where Jimmy as a veteran's already there. Udonis has been there, since I was there. So he'd been there forever. And so now you're coming in as a guy with great leadership skills into a team that already has leaders. How do you approach that?
Coach, you shouldn't age yourself like that. That's my first tip for me to you. I think just for me, I'm coming in here and kind of, just being me, right? And that's, taking some leadership responsibilities, but at the same time, finding understandings of what players need, what the team needs, what I can do to help, Jimmy get to the next level, and what I could do to help Bam get to the next level. And I've seen so many videos of Udonis throwing chairs. I can kind of, calm him down where he ain't got to throw the chairs. So, I'm just trying to be the guy that kind of, maybe I could be the calming leader and make everybody kind of, hey, listen, we don't need to yell and scream. I got this one. So for me, it's just coming in here for I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to play with these guys, these all-stars, champion, in UD and play for this organization. But as a leader, I'm just coming there. I'll figure it out. And that's what leaders do. They figure out what's needed at what time and what situation.
I feel great about this guy, man. I feel great about having him in the Miami Heat uniform. He's going to be a difference maker.
He already plays like a Heat player. You gotta understand. He led the league and take charges last year. He's heady. He plays defense. He's not selfish. He plays like a Heat player.
Yeah.
Tucker plays like a Heat player. Is it Marquise? Marquise
does too.
Plays like a Heat player. They got players that fit the Heat culture and style, and they just got to get used to that physical training regimen that they got going on.
It seemed like he's already there. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
said he's in the best shape of his life. So clearly they're going to be trouble. But are the Miami Heat offensively strong enough to contend with the Milwaukee's? And we don't know what's going on in Philadelphia, but Joel Embiid is still there. And Ben Simmons is, causing whatever disruption he is in Philadelphia. And you also have the Brooklyn Nets. We had a very interesting media member today.
Dave from Basketball Digest. Kevin, KD, why do people call you KD? Can I call you KD? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
My first name is Kevin.
Right.
And my second name, my last name is Durant with a D.
KD. This year, what percentage do you plan on giving on the court? 90, 95, 100, 110? What are we looking at?
110.
110.
Look at Lorenzo. I love Dave, man.
Lorenzo, he has no idea who it is, Randy. That's what it is.
Who asked?
That's David Letterman. It's David Letterman.
Oh,
David Letterman. Yes.
Okay.
David Letterman.
Oh, I wish did you set it up? Did you set it up that way? I wish I'd have known that. Then I would have appreciated it more.
Yeah, here's the clip. Here's when Letterman decided to walk out of there.
Wow.
I mean, it was just Lorenzo. You and I have been in the press box.
Yes.
You know how reporters act.
Yes.
And they were in no mood for David Letterman today. But you know what? He didn't give a damn. Listen.
I'm sorry. Was that a comment?
That's it.
How about you? Do you have a comment? Wrap it up. Okay. I'm being told my time is done. Have a great year. What about the Pelicans? When you guys play the Pelicans, does it kind of make you giggle?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all I got. That's it, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Okay.
Good job, Dave.
I have to go make some calls now.
Tough act to follow. We'll go to Brian Mahoney, Associated Press.
You let anybody in here.
Hey, I heard that.
Kevin Durant was like, that was hilarious. I know it was nobody laughing, but that was just funny as shit. It was.
Goodness.
I will say, basketball, reporting, the reporters are very uptight, but they're the best dressers out of all of them. Because I've seen the football people, and they're the worst dressers out of them all. But basketball people, they're suit tied up, and they go.
They're kind of uppity too, and that's why the guy should have been rolling laughing at that press conference. They could give a damn that David Letterman was there. I know it was an attempt at humor, but it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny, you know.
Yeah.
And there was a certain ESPN personality. I told Randy Savage about him earlier. I'm Jay Dundee. I was at a Heat game and I needed to charge my phone. You know, and I asked this dude, "Hey, can I use your phone charger?" And he looked at me like I asked him to borrow $500. I mean, just the most uptight dude. Like, dude, okay, I get it that you work for the 4-letter network.
Who was that again? Who was that again?
Jay Dundee. You know, like, you know.
Does he still work
with you?
I think so.
I don't know.
He's not as prominent as he once was.
But some of them can be real a-holes. You know, a lot of those NBA guys, just the media guys. Like, you're not the stars. You're covering the stars. That's you.
It's a guy, I remember the same year LeBron got out that he's been following LeBron still. And I heard he's like a terrible person also. I'm not going to say any names, but it sounds like Fendi. But, you know, we're going to keep it like that.
Yeah.
That's when you're feeling yourself, basically.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, last night, by the way, before I get to the last night, we wanted to talk about Power real quick. I don't know if you watched it, Lorenzo. The 50 Cent series.
Oh, BMF.
And what was the other one? Power.
Raising Canaan. Raising Canaan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very violent. I love that show.
Yeah. Season finale was this past weekend.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
Yes. No.
Randy,
yeah.
did you?
I mean, I enjoy what 50 is doing, and I've had the opportunity to interview 50 and be in his presence a couple of times, and especially back when he first came out, you are kind of enamored, and he's so engaging with his articulate way of presenting himself when he has to push that button or turn on that switch to be the other individual. It amazes you, and I can see how he could walk into a corporate room and just floor the white folks with him being smart and articulate. And now that's why he has 21 different shows. But because we know the real 50, we understand that he's bringing the street realness. It's credibility to these stories that he's telling. And now some of them, the BMF has to be a little bit close to the truth. But with this Raising Canaan, there's a couple of things in there that they added to that series, just as far as the script writers were concerned.
Loved it.
Wow, that's joint. It is so real. So real.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's a good.
I love the 90s.
I don't love 50 Cent, but I love whatever he creates.
Right. Yeah. I don't love the 50 Cent that attacks everyone, but if he stopped doing that, he wouldn't be 50 if he stopped doing that. You know what I mean? So
he is petty.
He's petty, but he's got. I don't know what the ratings were for that show, but the fact that he used who passed recently and he used it basically to promote. It was Michael K. Williams. Michael K. Williams. He used his death to promote the show because he died from an overdose. So and people were mad at him for doing it, but it did help promote the show. Mm-hmm. And that's the bottom line when it comes down to it. It's all about marketing. And yes, he and the BMF it was a little slow, but although the first episodes are always kind of slow. Oh,
pilot season's always weird. You just always give a show 3 episodes before.
But are you watching? I don't want to go off script here, Jeff. But are you watching the Wu-Tang?
Rodney the intern told me, "Yo, you need to watch Wu-Tang. You need to watch that."
Oh, hold on, I gotta go get it.
Oh yeah, I gotta go. I gotta be like this. I love the Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang with it.
No. Two different Wu-Tang now. I love the Wu-Tang Clan show. The only thing I hate about it is the guy that played RZA's voice. He sounds
it's too put on. He's a little too monotone. He's trying, but he's such a good actor. He's a good actor. He's a good actor. But the cast
that good. The Wu-Tang series that good.
No, it's good. I mean, if oh man, dude,
I
the,
watched
last
it.
episode, Randy, the last one with the guy that's playing Method Man is killing it.
Yeah, Davies, the rapper, is playing Method, and he sounds exactly like him.
Yeah.
Everything walks and talks like him.
Right.
It's Meth, bro. It's
Right. And then the guy playing ODB. I mean, he brings the comic relief.
I need to watch this.
Yeah, you got to go watch it. But
Is it what network is it on?
Hulu.
Oh, okay.
They're right now up to season 2 episode. I think it was episode 5 or 6. I'm not sure, but I mean, they go through the entire backstory, and it takes me back to when I was doing radio in Norfolk. That's when METHOD man came out. So this last episode, it touches on that was like their first record, as Wu-Tang when that came out. And I mean, when he says, I mean, I've watched the episode twice. When he says, "Let's do some music," and then they go and they've got the studio set up in an apartment, and it's just grimy and it's dirty. And then he gives Meth a spliff and says, "Yo, take the biggest hit of your life and." My super
That's awesome, man.
The way it's written, the actors, sometimes I'll sit back and like, oh, that wasn't a good delivery. I'm not saying that. They're doing a good job. Some of the guys don't look like the guy that's playing Ghostface don't look like Ghostface. You know what I mean? The guy that's playing
only one that looks really like it is the guy that looks like You God and the guy that looks like Gary a little bit. The Jizza, he looks a little bit like him.
A little bit like him, but yeah, he's putting on that voice. The voice he's putting on is a little much, but he's got to come close. But
gotta be talking like a 5% around here.
By the way, Rodney Rice, Bobby's voice is terrible this season.
Yeah,
that's how he really talks. He talks like this, and it's like an agent.
Yeah, it's put on more this season than it was in the first season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So someone
remember the Wu-Tang?
Yeah, Bobby's RZA, the RZA.
Yeah.
Bobby Diggs. But we like with the Wu-Tang story, it goes a little deeper into it because you never heard of Divine or Vine, who's Bobby's brother, and then you also got Power, who's famously known for Wu wear.
Right.
You got hipster white kids wearing the Wu shirts, so like,
right,
getting all of that money right now.
Right.
This was from BMF. Good, bad. Will this one be great?
I love BMF. First off, the story of BMF.
Just one episode. We're just one episode in.
Yeah, the story of BMF is amazing. If y'all don't know nothing about BMF, there's documentaries about it everywhere. Big Meech, Terry, amazing. So they put that in Stars format, and Stars has been killing it first off. So, woo!
Another victory for 50 Cent.
And before they went away, they were down here heavy.
Wow! Yes,
here heavy.
I've heard about those stories.
Yeah, it was like when you went up into the club, it was like, yo, don't step on their foot. Don't bump into them. Make sure you're careful when you're in that vicinity. It was you're like, yeah.
Ran the strip club.
Shout, make sure, and like I'm rocking shout them out. Make sure you let them know they're in the building, Lorenzo.
They will let you know because they were big in the strip clubs.
Yes,
and they brought in bags.
Yes,
of cash.
I heard a story. They spent like $1 million in like King of Diamonds like a long time ago or something like that.
Yeah. It was crazy.
They basically broke Young Jeezy because Jeezy was like their type of music or something. Like there were BMF mixtapes out on the street featuring Young Jeezy, and I remember
Blue Da Vinci
when the strippers came from Atlanta.
That's right, Randy. That's right. I remember that.
What? Oh, Blue Da Vinci. Yeah,
yeah.
All I knew is they were drug dealers and they were loaded.
Yeah, but they spent it heavy because they knew what was coming. They knew what was coming, so therefore they just splurged at that point. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, we know what's coming, so we just gonna go ahead and just live our life because it's coming. So and they did and it's going to be a while before they get to that point because they're starting from the beginning when they were kids and when they were teenagers. So
and it's actually Big Meech's son playing him.
Yeah, it is. Yes, exactly. Yes.
All right, man. Great. Another great job by 50. And then you've got another Power series coming with Tommy from Power. That series is about to jump off.
That's going to be, I think, next year.
Is that the one with Tommy, or is that the one with the son coming back in November?
Back in a month.
Next month. In November, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's not Tommy's episode, right?
No,
Tommy's series. Sorry.
Tommy's 22, but that's going to be like January, February.
Right. Okay. Probably at the tail end of the Power Book 2.
That's going to be like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Power Universe.
Well, you got to give it to 50 with all these shows.
By now, Lorenzo, I really wanted to discuss this news story with you because you are a program director of your very own radio station.
Yes.
100hiphop.com. Yes. Grown Folks Radio.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. So let everybody know about your radio station first of all.
Okay, well, the station is 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM. It is a station that plays hip hop and R&B and throwbacks. It's kind of like our positioning statement. You can find it. Basically, I would say right now, if you're watching or viewing, you can just Google, do it. Just type it in 100 Hip Hop and the word and RN, letter NB. Type it in your Google, will pop up, and then you can find us on all the. If there's a musical platform out there that streams, we're on it. iHeart, Odyssey, which is radio.com. Alexa, if you have an Amazon Fire Stick like this, similar to this, boom, all you got to do is hold down the microphone, say 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM into the mic, and it will pop up on your TV. If you got Alexa, once you enable it, use your Alexa, enable your radio skills, say 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM, bam, iTunes, TuneIn, on all the platforms. Jeff has had a show on there in the past. We got to bring him back. So the station is doing very well. We can monetize a little bit more, but it's still growing, and we're just trying to get it to the point to where as everyone is listening to it. So music is kind of like, say, if you're here in Miami, we're a hybrid of Hot 105 and 99 Jams, or the Beat. The Beat and 99 are on the young end. Hot has gone a little younger. We're kind of like in the middle. So therefore, and Randy said he loves the 90s. Boom. That's what you're going to get with us. The 90s and the 2000s.
What happened today, and again, you being a program director, what do you do with R. Kelly's music now? Like,
you don't play it. We don't play it. We don't play it. The only time you may hear an R. Kelly,
you don't play R. Kelly.
No, don't play it. The only time you might hear it is, some of our DJs may have some pre-recorded mixes that were made prior to, say, when R. Kelly got into all this trouble, whereas we always knew what was going on, but we didn't care. We still played his music. But once it got to the point that these surviving R. Kelly episodes came out, that's when all the programmers, directors, basically, and consultants just took it off the air, because the last thing you want is for somebody to push the button and leave your radio station. My sister did it. Cheryl Underwood is one of the air personalities on our station, and she has a gospel show, and she played I Believe I Can Fly. My sister hit me up. She texted me, said, "You playing R. Kelly?" She punched out. Really? She punched out because she heard that song, and then she came back, so that was something that Cheryl, and I believe I Can Fly. That was like a massive hit. And it was an inspirational song. So you think you could get away with that? And Cheryl Underwood, I'm not going to tell Cheryl Underwood not to play it, but that's how my sister reacted to it. And you don't want a lot of people to react the same way. And of course, over the weekend, was it today, Jeff, that it came out?
R. Kelly convicted. The criminal trial is over.
Mm-hmm.
At least this particular one.
Right.
He was found guilty on all counts. He's got some more to go. He's got Chicago coming up. He's got Illinois. Well, Chicago is Illinois. Chicago, Minnesota. But he is looking at a long time in the pen. Have you ever seen a superstar that big fall so hard? Like, there were the rumors on Michael Jackson, but when Michael Jackson was acquitted, I pulled over and I did a dance because I didn't think Michael Jackson was guilty to begin with. with the stuff he was being.
We had a 2000s day.
I think so.
Randy,
how you feel? Randy feels. He expresses feelings to me.
Look,
before the show,
I'm a Kells fan. Always will be one. But hey, he did all of that. Oh, he did that shit.
Yeah, he did that.
Right.
He did that like 50 Cent. He did that shit.
Yeah.
And stuff happens. It's a touchy subject, because you know how that can affect people. Stuff happened to him when he was a kid, but it's no excuse. And the fact that I heard the stories about Aaliyah, the singer, who I loved very much, and naming my daughters after her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The R. Kelly story does make me a little uncomfortable. And I can tell you, Lorenzo, in the nightclubs, I am a DJ at a nightclub, the Round Table. One of the most requested artists is still R. Kelly, especially on Old School Sundays. They sing his songs like they're in church.
Brush your hair a little bit before you come on camera. My daughter just walked in here, but go get a brush. Brush your hair.
That is true. From what I heard. People still like when Step in the Name of Love come on or something like that, or barbecue, like they'll like jiggy to it. But
You got to see his barbecue music, and it's what do we really got to be wary of as Lorenzo brings his beautiful daughter into the segment is people like her, people like your beautiful daughter. We have to think about the victims,
right? And it is a touchy subject with me, and you mentioned her, and because I knew her pretty well.
You met Aaliyah. You interviewed Aaliyah.
I know her pretty well. We exchanged numbers. Well, back then it was phone numbers and pagers, and I actually interviewed her. It was probably one of the few artists whereas I had a chance to meet her mother, her father, her brother, and interviewed her at a time when, let's say, she had stopped by the studio, and it was just I was doing nights at the time.
Hi, Loren.
Say, hi. You can take your mask
off. Loren.
Yeah.
Hi.
So
what are you doing?
Can you hear him? Yeah.
She's
So
so beautiful.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and the camera's right there, so you can look there for the camera. Okay, so what happened was I was a assistant program director and music director at a station in Baltimore, V103. You remember when I was there, Jeff?
Yeah.
And Aaliyah had come by during the day, but everyone knew that her and I had such a great relationship, so they said, okay, we're going to go ahead and do the interview. We're going to record it, right? So her and I went into the studio to record the interview. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Her mom, the record reps, everyone left, and they went to go ask her what did she want to eat, and whatever she ordered to eat. They went to go get the food. So here I am in the studio for about an hour. It's just me and it's just her. Just talking, joking, having fun, and really being personable with one another. I actually wrote her a 4-page letter because the song was 4-page letter, and had her read it on the air. And after we finished the interview, she was in the car listening to it and called me and said, "Yo, it sounds like I'm right there in the studio." So it was, and I could go on. There's another story that I have, but I could go on. But and having to interview R. Kelly after knowing what I knew was probably one of the hardest things to do, because we all know what happened. And we know, he got her pregnant and she had to have an abortion and all that other stuff, early on. And
Wait, I didn't know that. What?
Oh,
got her pregnant?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
The fixer's in. The fixer's in.
Sorry.
Terrible. What a
yeah.
god.
So that is some of the, and yeah, that is.
It's rumored. I've heard about it.
It's rumored, but I believe it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe it. So yeah. So it's touchy. So basically, he gets what he deserves.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people feel, and this is going to get more coverage as the days go on, and it's going to be interesting to see how radio reacts to him. He's still got a lot of support, especially in Chicago.
There was a video I just saw. They had I don't know if you guys remember the Boondocks, where people were picketing for R. Kelly.
Yeah,
it's actually happening right now.
I would compare it to the downfall of Bill Cosby, maybe in a very subtle way, but with the cause, I would think his career ended in disgrace. But I also wonder if that was orchestrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think Bill Cosby was a hater, and when I found out he got freed, I was like, "Boo!"
You think Cosby was a hater? Yeah.
Cosby was the biggest hater ever.
Well, they actually hated on him because once they found out he wanted to buy, I think was it NBC or CBS? Yeah. Once they found out that he wanted to buy that, they were like, "Oh no, we're not letting this go down." And then that's when, the stuff that was supposed to be hidden, all that information,
right,
that was supposed to not come out, those court documents that were not supposed to come out. They found a way to see the light of day.
Fixers, man, them fixers.
Yeah,
just be fixing things.
Well, we'll see how especially Black Twitter and the rest of America reacts to the news. R. Kelly convicted on all counts. Before we do our Monday night prediction, we do have one more segment I'd like you to comment on, and here's Des Bryant on the podcast with Ocho Cinco and the boys, and of course Shannon Crowder, I Am Athlete, talking about one Colin Kaepernick.
I respect Colin Kaepernick, but there's one thing that I don't respect, and I said it when I get the opportunity. And to get on the stage to say it, I would say it. And I love him to death. So it ain't no hate or nothing like that. But, brother, you had the biggest opportunity in the world to create jobs, build jobs, give jobs to people. The people that you was talking about, the people that you so-called standing up for, the people who stood beside you, the people who lost their jobs because of you. Where you at? I ain't heard from you. He brought the awareness. And that's why I respect him. And what's the call to action? There wasn't one.
Wow.
I roll, Dez. I roll. He sacrificed his career for what he stood up for, fam.
It's hard to criticize Colin Kaepernick.
Fam.
He gave it all up.
He had a program set to help people get interviews, bruh. And get suits and know how to do interviews for jobs.
Right.
Yeah, but I agree with Des Bryant. I agree with Des Bryant because he was the wrong messenger. Because he was not. That's where you go to the forefront and you speak on those things. When he first came out, he didn't have, because it was so spontaneous. He didn't have everything in order of what he wanted to say or what he wanted to do.
Right, so you got to think that this thing turned out to be bigger, and he thought it would.
That's what Des is saying. You could be in the forefront, but he is not. The media has put him in the forefront. But how often have you seen him talking about anything? When's the last time we've seen him say anything? The last time we've seen him is when he had that tryout for the NFL.
Well,
Ryan is right. There's more that he could have done. He could be the spokesmodel for whatever he wanted to push. If it was for police brutality, the last time we really saw him say anything is when he did an interview. You could be. Why are you not on the cable news outlets? Because he is the wrong spokesperson for it, because I don't feel he can articulate it the way it needs to be. That's why he falls back. I mean, Muhammad Ali, when he stepped forward, oh my goodness. And I'm rocking the shirt right now in the documentary that Ken Burns just did.
No, he's not.
And that's what Des Bryant is basically saying. That's what we needed for this movement. The movement could have moved forward faster and quicker had he been that individual that could stand up there and defend, everything that was going on when it came down to police.
I don't know.
Yes, he could have done. I agree with him. He could have done more. He could have said he could be more of a spokesperson, and he was not.
All right, I'm just gonna read what Jamel Hill said, and it says, "With all due respect, Des, this is uninformed. Colin has created a publishing company, a SPAC that's raising $300 million for social justice initiatives. A production company, one of the founding of the Know Your Rights camps. I don't know why you dragging his name.
Why we don't know about it? Why we don't know about it?
Listen,
we didn't know about it before. That's what he's saying. Well, he needs to be on the forefront, putting it out there. What he's doing. That's what.
Why does he gotta publicize every good thing he does?
Exactly,
because
he's not trying to be Donald Trump.
He's the face of the movement. He's the face of the movement without a voice. So now use your voice. That's what Des is saying.
He's put the action in work.
Yeah, but you need a voice.
Hey guys, we got jobs.
We're in the age of social media. So what you need to see it.
He's done.
You need to read it and you need to speak it. And that's what Des is saying. Okay, Jamel is right. Oh, I didn't know about that. And I find myself to be very conscious on what's going on. But if he's not talking about it, if he's not doing interviews about it, if he's not putting if the PR campaign is not going out there to let people know what Des is saying that he can do to help people, and this is going on for years.
Colin Kaepernick is his own man. I respect him for being his own man. He's not trying to be Sean King. He's not trying to be all these other.
But he could be a leader of a whole lot more.
He
could be a leader,
man,
and he doesn't want to do that.
And he gave up his career. I mean,
you guys know how many people love we don't hear about it.
He could have came back too. He could have came back on that trial. He could have came back. He could have been with another team. But that stunt that went down in Atlanta, then when he went to the high school football, he didn't want to come back.
That's
unfair. He didn't want to come back. I just wish he would be more vocal, or had been more vocal over the years about what he was doing and what he was kneeling for. I mean, did we hear anything about him during the George Floyd crisis? I mean, just think about that. The police officer had a knee.
That was a moment. That was a moment where he could have seized.
That's what I'm saying.
The momentum of what was going on in America, and
but like sometimes you don't have to.
But he's not that guy.
He's just not that guy.
He doesn't want to be.
That's what Des is saying. Sometimes when the opportunity is presented for you to be that voice, you got to take it. And he is articulated enough to be able to be out there to say some things, but he's not really that type of person. He decided to take a stand silently because he didn't want to say anything. And then basically they kind of put the microphone in his face, and then he had to say why he was doing it. But have we seen him in any interviews over the last 5 years? How many interviews have we seen with Colin Kaepernick over the last 5 years?
Maybe. I mean, look.
I like
social. I love the people who are on social media with the social justice stuff and BLM and all of that. But like when they do that, they're just talking it. But are they really putting it to action? Colin's doing it. That's the thing.
And he needs to let us know that he's doing it. That's it. That's what Des is saying. And I somewhat agree with him, because I was like, I was saying the same thing. I was like, he's the wrong messenger. I wish it was someone else that did the same thing. If it was, what if Chad Ochocinco did that? Oh my goodness. What? Or if Brandon Marshall had done that. Could you imagine what they would have done with that platform?
Those guys have different personalities.
I
don't think Colin gives a damn about Des Bryant or anybody else.
But he doesn't care about he doesn't care about what he's saying, but what he's saying is what has been missed. You know what I'm saying? So I just bring those athletes up because had they taken the knee similar to Colin Kaepernick, you would have seen the movement grow and it would have been bigger.
And
Then what-
even
what-
him
Guys,
taking the
you gotta
knee
look at
was
history.
something they publicized too.
Look at
Like,
history.
It was a silent protest. He
Look at
sat
history.
down, and
Look at
they
history.
were like, right, yeah,
Malcolm Little became Malcolm X
yeah, sure.
because he wanted to be. He wanted to be that messenger.
Mhm.
He was a 2-bit hustler from Detroit Red.
Right.
And then he got embraced by the Nation of Islam. And he became Malcolm X. And he walked into that life fearlessly. He felt like he was chosen, and he became that. Same thing with Martin Luther King, little preacher from where? Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Georgia.
So you got to look at it. Okay, here's this thing that got
And then opportunity presented both of them to lead.
right.
And they took advantage of it. They
Right.
became the messenger of those messages.
But
Now, Colin made a stance. The opportunity to be the messenger came, and he didn't necessarily take it to move the message. Now, he did some actions to move the message, but
which makes him authentic. He didn't want.
it can make him. But the point is what Des Bryant is saying. So what he's saying is that what is he saying? Where is he? And people, and because of where we are in this social media medium, it's not about what you're doing. People want to see what you're doing. They want to see it.
He's never been that guy. Man.
That's why we're doing this right now. We used to be on the radio talking. Now the people need to see us. So
Right.
they want to see
But
us.
it's like it's not even his personality.
It's not his personality.
I'm happy
And that's what Des is saying. Where are you? It's
But
just
Des shouldn't do that because that's not who he is.
Exactly.
But
That's
his
not who he is.
but his point is valid, and I started this whole conversation about saying he was the wrong. Hold on a second. Started this whole conversation by saying he was the wrong messenger because he did not want to be that person. He wanted to take a stand and send a message, but for it to go further than it could have been if it had been a different messenger, Lord only knows where we would be with the movement. That's my point.
Yeah. Great point, buddy.
And that's all Des is saying, but he just had a lot of passion in his delivery and how he was saying it. He's like, yo, why are you coming off on Colin Kaepernick? But there is more that could have been done. He just was the wrong. What if James Baldwin would have taken the knee? Oh my goodness. Now that's a messenger right there. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, he couldn't because he's no longer with us, but you get my point. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He was the wrong messenger.
Like in football, you have your vocal leaders, you have your leaders who lead by example. Collins one who's a lead by example.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't know what he's doing, so we got to put the PR team.
Just moving in silence, man, and doing this thing.
Nah, we didn't know. I didn't know what he was doing. Jamel knew what he was doing, but the masses don't know. And what are you trying to do? You're trying to create a movement so the masses know what's going on.
I guess it depends on who you ask or what you ask, but I will respectfully disagree with you, Lorenzo, on this one here. I usually agree with you, but on this one, I respectfully.
Do you agree that he was the wrong messenger to be vocal?
Yeah, the wrong.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But he did what the so-called other messengers should have done. He stepped out and he risked it all. And I cannot do nothing but respect that. That's a man who risked it all of it. You gonna give up millions of dollars?
And I'm about getting my bread, man. So
like when my folks come to the DJ booth and say, Jeff Fox, play some R. Kelly for an hour, and they give me $100, I'm playing that shit for an hour.
Yeah, he getting his money back. He getting his money back.
Give
my cash.
He getting his money back.
I'm not giving you $100.
In the way that the NFL has evolved, and with that stunt he pulled in Atlanta, he could still be playing right now. The way the game has evolved, he could be playing.
Yeah, I mean that man wanted a job. They ain't giving him that job.
He ain't want to.
Now they got his twin up in Bay Area in San Francisco,
and got his money in other ways that we don't know. That's why he's probably not vocal.
Hey,
by the way, that's
great. Too bad.
Yeah, can you play that Des Bryant cut again? I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Can you do it?
Yeah. Let's hear what Des had to say.
Like, I respect Colin Kaepernick, but there's one thing that I don't respect. And I said it when I get the opportunity and to get on the stage to say it, I would say it. And I love him to death. So it ain't no hate or nothing like that. But brother, you had the biggest opportunity in the world to create jobs, build jobs, give jobs to people. The people that you was talking about, the people that you so-called standing up for, the people who stood beside you, the people who lost their jobs because of you. Where you at? I ain't heard from you. He brought the awareness, and that's why I respect him.
But what's the call to action?
There wasn't one. There wasn't no call to action.
Hey, and he's not saying where you at.
That's too busy trying to get back in the league, and I guess to pay attention.
I believe
I didn't get the whole episode, but I did get valuable information from Rodney the intern, who said that when Dez was questioned about Jerry Jones, he was very complimentary of Jerry Jones and how much he loved Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones gave him the opportunity, and I'm like, okay, so
we talked about this earlier, but
love Jerry
has the
Jones,
best fixers in the world, and they fix a lot of Dez's dirt that will never come to light because Jerry has some great fixers.
Okay. All Dez really said is where you at. That's really all he said about, that's really all he really said. And you said something about, creating jobs.
He made it very clear that he loves.
Yeah. And really the only thing that he really is creating jobs, and we don't know what jobs that he could be creating. He's just like, where you at, man? We want to see you. Where you at?
Where are you?
Come on to the, they come to the ESPYs and say something. Present it. Where you at? Come on, let's come to the San Francisco 49er game, and with your afro and your leather jacket. Where you at? Come on. And he said he had a huge opportunity and he just didn't take advantage of it. That's all he really said. Where you at?
Well, I mean, Roger Goodell did say we sorry. So
yeah.
They said we sorry.
Even the 49ers started saying Black Lives Matter. That's crazy.
Yo. Yeah. Hey, Jeff. Deshaun Jackson did kind of like drop a ball as he was running to score, and he dropped the ball before he entered the goal line. Yeah. That's a play. He's not going in the hall. And right now he loses whatever award you want to give him.
Out on Twitter and ask the question.
Yeah, you want because of that right there that he let the ball go because he was so cocky and arrogant, just thought he was already in the end zone, and before he crossed the goal line, he dropped the ball. He can't be the greatest. Sorry.
Greatest team threat in NFL history. All right, guys, we are at the end of the show, but we had a great time and a great show tonight. And let's predict tonight's Monday Night Football score and who will win. Lorenzo, go.
I really don't like predicting games, but it's who's playing? I'm sorry. Philadelphia and Dallas. I know. Philly and Dallas. They're playing in Dallas. I'm gonna give it to the Cowboys. Let's say 30-14. Cowboys.
By the way, where are they playing? By the way, Randy, is it in Philly?
I think it's in Dallas.
Dallas. I don't know if this is in Philly or Dallas.
Who cares?
I think it's in Dallas.
Who you got? Cowboys are winning it 31-13.
Yeah, me and Randy about the same. Yeah, thank you, Randy. Yeah,
I say Dallas wins, but barely. 24-21, Dallas Cowboys. Thank you both, gentlemen, for joining the show. It's been a great show. Thank you to the X Squad. Thank you to Rodney the intern. Thanks everybody that's been listening and watching the show. Keep sharing the link. Please remember to support us at the Jeff Fox Show at $ Radio Host 1. And remember, if you want to book the Jeff Fox Show, to contact Brian Starr Sports and Entertainment, and look out for the new website launching this week. It launches this week. The new website where you will be able to find all of your sports, entertainment, news, and business. And, of course, remember to hit up Lorenzo at 100 hip hop
And R&B FM.
FM. You got it right.
You haven't said it in a long time, Jeff. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, why not hip hop and R&B.com? But they will not be playing R. Kelly music.
FM.FM.
Right.
FM.
All right, gentlemen. You guys enjoy the game tonight. And we will. Yeah, man. It's been fun, man.
Great conversation, too.
Love it.
Great conversation. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you later. Peace.
You've been listening to The Jeff Fox Show. Jeff Fox Show. Join us next time on the same platform for another exciting episode of The Jeff Fox Show. Remember, there's no Jeff Fox Show without your support. Continue to support The Jeff Fox Show via Cash App at #RadioHost1. This has been a production of The Jeff Fox Show Incorporated.